Hey, do you have a favorite reality show? Oh, come on, don't lie, everyone has one. Dr. Clef loves some American Ninja Warrior, and I've got it on good authority that Dr. Bright can't get enough of The Bachelor. So how about you, huh? Do you obsessively follow the romantic highs and lows of Love Island? Or are you more of the type who likes to curl up with a mug of hot cocoa and enjoy a nice, wholesome episode of the Great British Baking Show? Do you ever yell at the TV when the contestants on Jeopardy just can't get the answer right? Do you get a kick out of seeing what crazy collectibles will show up on this week's episode of Pawn Stars? If you answered yes to any of these, you're not alone. Millions of people around the world still tune in to all kinds of reality TV. Personally, I just can't get enough of my favorite hidden camera show, Laugh is Fun. What's that? You've never heard of Laugh is Fun? No. Oh boy, you're really missing out. If you like reality TV, you're going to love Laugh is Fun. Laugh is Fun, also known as scp-2030, isn't a show that you can watch on TV. Instead, it appears as the most popular form of media distribution in the current year. Today, you can find it on file sharing and streaming websites, but in the 2000s, you could rent it from the DVD kiosk at the mall. And back in the 90s, it used to show up as multi-tape sets in video rental stores. Even though the SCP Foundation has only been aware of Laugh is Fun since 1993, it has a recorded 38 seasons as of 2014, meaning that it may have existed in some form as far back as the 1970s. If you want to binge all 38 seasons, you might also want to look it up under the names Laugh is Life, or in some countries, Laugh is Laugh. And if you happen to be in a country where Laugh is Laugh isn't available, you may want to try changing your location using a VPN to one where you can access it. Oh, what's that? You don't have a VPN service? Well then, I'm glad you're here, because before we go any further, I have a very important word from our sponsor, who just so happens to be NordVPN, the preferred VPN service of all the researchers here at SCP Explained. Sign up now at nordvpn.com/SCP Explained. NordVPN isn't just a VPN, it's truly the best VPN available. With a simple click, you'll be able to access content that might be blocked just because of your location, so you'll never have to miss an episode of your favorite anomalous television programs. But wait, there's more, much more. What if you're right in the middle of binge watching of season 31 when suddenly your quality dips to looking like a couple of blurry blocks are fighting over an old shoebox? Never fear, because NordVPN encrypts all of your traffic. That means your internet service provider can't throttle your service and slow down your streaming speed. You should never settle for less than the highest quality pixels after all. And it doesn't matter how you choose to watch. NordVPN is available on every modern platform, including Windows, iOS, Android, macOS, Linux, and even Android TV. The monthly cost is the same as a cup of coffee. Regular coffee, that is, not the kind that comes from SCP-294. And if you sign up by going to nordvpn.com/SCP Explained, you'll even get a free month. So go try it for yourself right now. That's nordvpn.com/SCP Explained. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. As we were saying, Laugh is Fun is a prank show that puts unknowing everyday people into ridiculous scenarios and films their reactions. Each episode is about 10 to 12 minutes long and features an opening and closing monologue from beloved, supposedly human TV presenter Laffy McLafferson, aka SCP-2030-1. You've probably seen him before. He's never seen without his blue three-piece suit and black wingtip shoes. Funniest guy on TV, seriously. I think he should replace James Corden on The Late Late Show, and maybe even take up hosting a gig on SNL, if he's still got time after. He had this amazing monologue at the end of an episode in season 32. Haha, what a ride, huh, folks? We've seen printers that eat, eaters that print, and everything in between. Makes you appreciate the old clunker you have at the back office, doesn't it? No, printers may not always work when you want or need them to, but they sure make for some excellent comedy. And that's what we're all about here. Comedy. We're here to make you laugh. We hope you laughed. Thank you for laughing with us. That's what we're about here, doesn't it, folks? Come laugh with us again next time, and remember, laugh is fun! Good night and laugh, just laugh. We love to make laugh. Make more for laughter so as to for laugh. Laugh with us, laugh with us, laugh with us. Laugh with us, laugh with us, laugh with us. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Laugh and let us in. I couldn't tell you what his face looks like though, because he's always framed from the neck down. Once the pranks are done for the episode, he'll step up on that bright yellow stage and deliver his closing monologue, which always ends with a pan over the audience as everyone chants, "Laugh with us." Then the show always just cuts to black. The closest thing the show ever has to credits is a title card that says, "Filmed in front of a studio audience in partnership with YWTGTHFT." For a show that doesn't advertise or even air on TV, Laugh is Fun is still a beloved classic, and when you watch it, it's easy to see why it's been around so long. Laffy and the team pull off some really classic pranks on Laugh is Laugh. There's this one episode in season 13 where an unsuspecting family is sitting down to dinner. Father starts choking and the family reacts with horror until suddenly a pair of slits appear in the father's neck, allowing him to breathe. Those slits soon become nostrils, and before you know it, a full second head grows out of his neck. That head then grows its own neck, which grows a noose, then a face, then another head, then another neck. This keeps happening a total of 18 times while the rest of the family looks on in horror. But don't worry, before things go too far, Laffy pops out from under the table and tells the family they're on Laugh is Fun. Laffy points out the cameras and the whole family starts laughing, including all 18 of the father's heads. There's also another great season 13 episode called Squirrels. Oh man, okay, this one had me in stitches. Alright, so there's this couple lying in bed, and the wife wakes up because she hears this squeaking noise. She taps her husband on the shoulder to wake him up, but she draws her hand back in horror because she can feel something moving under her husband's skin. So before she can ask if he's okay, boom! Hundreds of squirrels explode out of his skin and start running around the room while the wife screams. Then Laffy walks in and turns the lights on, accompanied by the husband, who is perfectly okay, even though he's been skinned from head to toe. Everyone laughs. Alright, then there's the most recent episode from season 24 called Swelling. There's this old lady sitting on a park bench feeding the pigeons, and a couple walks past her. When they walk past, the old lady gets swarmed by the pigeons she's feeding. The pigeons force themselves into her mouth and keep swarming until her stomach cavity bursts open. The couple, who gets sprayed with guts as all the pigeons fly off, are extremely distressed by this until Laffy shows up. Some people say that this episode is too similar to Squirrels and that the show was starting to get stale at this point, but I think the joke is unique enough to stand on its own. Plus, with a prank show as long-running as Laugh, it's inevitable that you're gonna see some jokes get reused. Really, it's not about the prank itself, it's about the reactions of the people, which are always priceless. And man, the way that Laffy McLafferson comes into the frame by climbing out of the old lady's open ribcage, I was rolling on the floor. You don't think the old animals exploding out of people bit is funny? Okay, that's fair enough. Let me think. What are some of my other favorite episodes of Laugh is Fun? Oh, yes! The Margaret Thatcher episode from season 21. That's another great thing about Laugh is Fun. It's not afraid to get a little political. So this woman walks into her kitchen and opens the cabinet, but instead of the food being in there, it's just a big blob of flesh. The flesh blob rolls out onto the counter and morphs into a misshapen caricature of Margaret Thatcher with a disproportionately big head. The woman starts screaming, but the Thatcher creature jumps onto her, pinning her down and shoving its tongue into her mouth. The deeper the tongue goes, the more Margaret Thatcher faces start appearing all over the woman's skin. All the faces start reciting Thatcher's April 1986 speech on the bombing of Libya in perfect unison. You might watch it and think the woman's going to choke based on how long the creature's tongue is down her throat, but good old Laffy comes in and the studio audience goes nuts. Laffy points out to the cameras and says, "You're on Laugh is Fun!" And the woman starts laughing too, with the creature's tongue still in her mouth. But I think my favorite prank I've ever seen on Laugh is Fun was the one from season 37. So, it's in a hospital. There's a woman getting a C-section and all the doctors are gathered around. One of the doctors makes a comment on how much hair the baby has, and then he screams and drops his surgical tools. The rest of the team all start screaming as well, and then, this is where it gets really funny, you see Ryan Seacrest's head pop up from out of the woman. Okay, so this is causing her a lot of pain, obviously, so she starts screaming and crying as the Ryan Seacrest head fully emerges, at which point you can tell that its head is on an octopus body. Classic bait and switch, right? But that's not the end. The Ryan Seacrest octopus starts singing "Row, row, row your boat" as it emerges, and then 3 more octopi with celebrities' heads come out of this woman. There's one that looks like Jack Nicholson, one that looks like Johnny Cash, and one who looks like Martin Freeman. And when they've all come out of her, they start singing together in 4-part harmony. It's hilarious. Laffy walks in to point out the cameras, and all the doctors start laughing. Even the woman on the operating table is laughing. In fact, she laughs so hard she passes out. It's a real shame that there are never any end credits, because it would be so cool to find out more about the people who make this show. I mean, they're total comedic geniuses, and special effects wizards too. I couldn't even guess how they do some of those pranks. But sadly, there's very little information about the show online, and you can't even ask the victims of the pranks about it, because all of them are dead. What? No, not because of Laugh is Fun, that's just a prank show, it's all jokes. They always show everyone laughing and perfectly okay at the end, no matter how badly they got mutilated in the episode. You can even see some people who have been on previous episodes among the studio audiences if you look hard enough. But, okay, by total coincidence, everyone who is featured on Laugh is Fun eventually dies or is already dead of totally unrelated causes. Like the Turman family. The dad, Gary Turman, was the one who had 18 extra heads grow out of his neck. Gary, his wife Lindsay, and their 2 kids tragically passed away in a car wreck on the 28th of April 1989. Melissa and Travis Youngland, the couple from the squirrel prank, went missing and were last seen on the 12th of May 1989. The couple from the pigeon prank, Macy Gershon and Kyle Parker, were both killed by a hit-and-run driver in September of 2000. Doris Carter, the woman from the Thatcher prank, passed away from ovarian cancer in 1997. And Rebecca Nash, the woman who gave birth to all those singing celebrity cephalopods, died in childbirth in 2013. You might think that the last one had something to do with her Laugh is Fun episode due to the hospital connection, but the surgeons present when she died didn't report anything strange happening at the time. All of these deaths happen in roughly the same years that all these people had their appearances on Laugh, but it's because it's only available on streaming and video. It can't really be said what the connection is since there aren't any air dates for any of the episodes. While you might assume that these people died after their appearances on Laugh and the show is actually some kind of death curse, it's just as likely that they died before, and Laugh is Fun is somehow filmed and distributed from the great beyond. Some people even think that the people who film Laugh actually kidnap all the people who appear on the show and fake their deaths in some kind of big sinister conspiracy. Sure, I have heard that all of the people who supposedly died after being on the show have inconsistencies in their death records, and that many of their graves actually just hold empty coffins, but still, that feels totally unrealistic to me. I mean, come on, can you really picture TV's own Laffy Lafferson kidnapping anyone? He has such a friendly attitude. Like I said before, no information whatsoever exists about the way this show is made. Not even the SCP Foundation has any answers. They're still actively investigating the ways in which people get chosen to be on Laugh is Fun, as well as where it's filmed and who produces it. Talk about a really niche cult hit. I hope I've sold you on Laugh is Fun. It may not be that well known, and you might have trouble finding it, but trust me, it's the funniest prank show you'll probably ever watch. I guarantee once you get into it, it'll make you laugh and laugh and laugh. Laugh with us. Laugh with us. Laugh with us. Laugh with us. And hey,
everybody wants to rule the